just ran a checkup on myself.
Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Lighting.
Eat. You remember me? Let's go, baby.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
He's checking.
They'll run with Fournette. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, 76 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Stay 50.
Let's go, Mike.
Stafford. And this is Simpson with a catch. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Lady!
Stafford on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As you and I know from visiting a lot of camps, no one practices this type of a start, do they?
Especially not on the road. You give up the touchdown on the opening drive. Now there's likely a 3-and-out on your first possession.
Yeah, you throw that incompletion there. You hate to fall into a hole early, especially on the road. Got to be careful.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now Foles. He's going to look for Allen now. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Keenan Allen, 93 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Get that ball.
50-50.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Mike, check.
22.
Check 43. Check 3.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got some space here. Yeah, this will get him all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. A big play there for Detroit. 43 yards.
Check. Check your backer.
Hurry. Forty got.
Now it's Stafford. And he's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Keep going
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
That's true.
That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Come on, QB, come on. Check, 55, come on.
Here's Foles. That's out to his running back, Fournette. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
It's our time.
Foles. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
Foles now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, we talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. He's got the hook up to Lee. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. 2nd quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. It's a quarterback sneak, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Nick Foles, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing to Stanford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous. Middle.
50, my 50. Let's go.
From the gun, here's Stanford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. We got it.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Look at him.
Throwing again is Stanford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Tighten up. Kick.
Hey, 59.
Switch.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Right there in the middle. 55.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
2nd and 5 now. Foles. He's going to rifle one deep left into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
At the 41-yard line.
Set. You got a 20.
Hey, we got tight left, tight left. 4 down, check, 4 down.
Hey, 22.
50, Mike, 50.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford, catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Here's Stafford. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 17-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end. And now it's second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 9. Stafford looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Simpson. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
He'll rifle this one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. They're going to look to throw. And he completes it to Westbrook. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Keenan Allen with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty...
Oh, this is blocked. This is going the other way. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. 10. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Josh Allen. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Let him know, let him know. Mike 50, Mike 50. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Mike 70.
Mike's 50, Mike.
Now Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here comes the Lions punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
That's it, baby.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I think it's okay there they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here we go. Stay 50, stay 50. Check three.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. And he's going to be intercepted. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfly.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Foles. The open man is Westbrook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now Foles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Foles. That's out to his running back, Fournette.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Foles. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Check 50. Check 50. Kill.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
We own them. We own them.
Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off at his own 47. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Deeper. Situation, let's go.
Fournette. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 21-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Foles now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. He's going to air one out. This is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From the 29, Foles. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 20. Kill.
Defense wins championships, baby. Shoot.
This is Fournette. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw here. Open man, it's Allen. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
55.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles for Keenan Allen. That's complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
180.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend the lead out to 24. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Mike 50. Stop your whining. 50's the Mike. 50's the Mike. I got him.
Bravo.
Mike's 50. Watch the run.
Here's Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Zero.
Check Mike 50. Mike,
Hey, exit.
Mike 50. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Mike's 50. Watch QB drop.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, Safarian Jenkins has it. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On first down, Stafford here. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Miles Jack, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now it's Stafford. Complete to Jones. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Second and 3 at the 36-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. He completes it to Westbrook. And he'll go down at the 28. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Leonard Fournette. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
Go with 5-3. Go with 5-3.
They'll drop the throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. The shotgun snap for Stafford. He finds an open man, Simpson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Alert! 44's the mic. 44's mic. Check. I got wide. 44's the mic. Sit on! 65.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And this is Simpson with a catch. And he's got this down to the 35. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Come on. Here we go. 50. Mike 50.
To the air again, Stafford. Simpson reels it in over the middle. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2.
Get him. Zero. Mike's 50. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
One last throw here for Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use.
And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they?